back to Davy's Disc Locker, where I play courses blind so you don't have to. Today we're at 18s at the Pond, the West Course in Little Rock, Arkansas. Par 54, 6,300 feet, hole 1 here. There is a 499 foot position after that second pond, but today it's just a little layup with an overstable mid-range. I'm going with a Sublime Bobcat here. Hanging out over this road. I don't think the road is OB, but the water definitely is. It's a really tight landing zone. 20 feet long, 20 feet short, you're in the water for sure. Could have put a little more on it, but I didn't want to catch a weird skip into that other pond. Sorry for the bad camera angle. Did make the putt anyways, but I'm showing you this just so you can kind of see how tight this green is, because the water is just off screen to the left. Hole 2, 347 feet, just got a couple of trees in the way, a couple of really nice gaps. There's the straight at it if you're a maniac, or a nice little flat to hyzer line on the right, and I couldn't decide which one I wanted. But as long as you kick into the trees instead of back towards the tee pad, you have less in the way, so I'm just going Eternal Bullet here. Honestly, flirted with that a little more than I meant to, hoping that it hooks up a little bit. And this green is slightly elevated, not really much though, but if you go a little long, it goes even longer. Hole 3, 430 feet. Directly at the pin, you have a 400-foot water carry. I'm going Big Z Zeus. This is my Flippy Zeus. We have a slight headwind here, so I'm confident that it's going to flip, and it just lifts. Because to the right, it's only like 360 to clear, and it lifted, and I thought it was going in the drink for sure.
Ooh,
but it stayed dry by like barely a meter. I couldn't believe it. Maybe it's a little less than 400-foot water carry, or the basket is further than 430 feet, because maybe it was 380 to clear, I think, which is why I went for it, because full flight on a Zeus, I'm getting it over 380 for sure. Oof, almost got the 2. All you got to do is get it over the water, and you got a lot of room on that hole. Hole 4, 324 feet. You do have a creek on the right side of the fairway. You get a good look at it walking from the previous hole. I'm going Grackle here, putting it on the left side, playing the turnover to kind of keep the creek out of play, and I'm not too mad with the result, honestly. Throwing even like a Firebird backhand just to get out into the open here and play this hole for an easy 3. I'm working on these upshots, so that's forehand with my 4-claw zone and a new zone. Backhand, just kind of playing, practicing those upshots. But I'm throwing my first one, keeping it honest here. But wide open after you really get away from those trees blocking your tee shot. Just not kicking into the creek. Should have got a par there. Anyways, hole 5, 421 feet. There's a really nice turnover line here. I'm going wave, and I just didn't put enough on it. I'm asking it to keep flipping. Probably a decent crash line into these trees as well, because they're just not very thick. Put the camera off to the side here because I'm directly blocked by that tree with a little birdhouse on it, but not a lot of ground coverage or anything here, so pretty easy to manufacture an upshot if you mess your tee shot up. Hole 6 here, 370 feet. Basket is framed between those two trees. Got a little bit of a headwind here, and there are some ponds. You know, hole 1 is on the right side of the screen, playing the other way, so bumping it up to the goat, letting it get drug out to the right, but not flipping. And I'm lucky enough to be playing this just a couple days before Christmas. I'm guessing in the spring I wouldn't have a look here, but a couple days before Christmas, all this undergrowth is pretty much dead, and get lucky to make a big one. Hole 7, 369 feet. It's a left to right hole, so backhand turnover for forehand for your righty players. I'm going with that wave, giving it a little more height and really ripping on it, unlike hole 5. I'm very pleased with the amount of turn I got out of that, but there is a cart path there. I'm just barely safe. Almost pin high from the tee. But lots of room off to the left, not a lot of danger there. Hole 8, 265 feet. You cannot see the basket from the tee unless you know exactly where it is. I'm going bullet here. I saw this off. I'm going big turnover, but I let go of it too straight. I end up catching some trees and dropping, luckily, because the creek is right there. Definitely a forehand hole. I'm very lucky to catch these because I didn't give it the distance to nail the turnover, and I was going to end up OB in the water. I'm on a little island kind of in the creek. I suppose it's possible this is out of bounds, but it's dry, so I'm playing it. But there's the basket. If I had a 250 or 300 foot forehand, this is a forehand hole all day long. But I get through the vines, and I'll give you a look at the green here, just so you can see how dangerous it is. You're going to get a disc back out of there. It didn't seem very deep, but it's definitely in play for sure. Yeah, no idea what the line actually is to get that in 2 without making a big putt. Hole 9, 258 feet. There is a straight up the gut shot, but I'm liking this flat to hyzer with my overstable utility disc. This is an Eternal Phoenix. And lots of skips. I actually skip across the basket and putting back to it. But pretty much executed that exactly how I drew it up. I would have loved to park it instead of having like a 12-footer. Kind of an awkward distance for me. Doink. But there's what the green looks like. You just gotta beat the trees, keep it low. Hole 10, 308 feet with the water just before it. The creek is deep right in front of the basket. At least today it was. I'm going goat, just hanging it high to the right. Playing that spiky. And yep, parked it. So from the camera angle, where I pointed off screen to the right, it's pretty deep. Where the camera's looking, it's a little shallower. But so you definitely don't want to saw this one off if you're throwing right hand, backhand. Hole 11, 337 feet. Pretty standard. I'm going goat again. I've been throwing it really good today. Didn't quite get any turn on it. Didn't really get it flat, so I think I actually hit a tree. Don't quite remember. This was about a month ago. But wrong disc. Really just gotta carve a shot through some woods. Almost got another 2. Hole 12, 269 feet. This is playing to that same notch in the creek. Different basket, obviously, though. So I'm going lobster here. And I do start this one out to the left, but the lobster's flippier than the bullet. And I thought I flashed the basket.
I think it's in the... Tough to say where it went out of
I was
bounds,
hoping to crash into that like log and bush that are behind the basket on the camera's angle, but I was in the water. Circle 3.
And we're calling that a 4.
Not too bad, and I got the disc back, which really isn't bad at all, because...
It's really messy.
Anyways, hole 13, 291 feet. Just going understable mid up this gap right here. Threw it a little too nose up, unfortunately.
You like...
But you just gotta pick a line and commit to it. Yeah, didn't quite get the turn on it. Or got the turn on it, but it was just too nose up. Didn't get the distance. Really, the only thing you got to worry about on this hole, though, is that cart path off to the
Basket
left.
is right between those two trees.
Hole 14, 425 feet. I'm liking this bigger gap on the left. Turnover with the wave. Very happy with the height, very happy with the angle. And it just caught not the first tree, but squared up with a tree pretty early, unfortunately. Only gets about halfway to the basket, so I'm going turnover, stand still with the bullet again. And it has a little too much stability. It kind of gets flat and glides past the basket. But here's a look at the green. Unless you really, really, really juice one, you're going to be safe. You'll just have a big comeback putt. Finally made one. Hole 15. This one's about, I think it was 280 today. There is a 500-foot position for this one. So Bobcat, I'm very displeased with that one. I remember thinking, like, when I pure a Bobcat, that is my money distance for a Bobcat, is just under 300 feet. Going Phoenix, much lower. Huge skip. And hard to see in the leaves, but perfect. Trying to show you good shots here. How to play the course right instead of how to play the course wrong. This is the same tee pad for hole 16, whether you're playing east or west. It's very clearly outlined, although both times I played today, I played this way. Not a good shot. Luckily, the Bobcat fights back pretty good. But I played the west hole 16 both times. For some reason, made a mistake. Trying the Phoenix again. Way too inside. Lots of skips. Bobcat I was not happy with was actually pin high. Just yanked it a little too wide.
A little high, a little low, a little left, a little right. Whoa.
On to hole 17 after a little bit of a walk. 324 feet. Going goat here. Early release into a tree. But really, there's just that one. The tree I hit is really like the main tree to miss. I'm going to go Zeus here. I'm going to throw on the right side of that tree. If I'm not mistaken. I'm super mistaken. A little higher, a little straighter. Catches some late limbs and drops. Much better though. Oh yeah. Yeah, that goat was going to skip over that cart path if it didn't get that tree kick. It's alright, didn't deserve the 2 anyways with the shiggle. On to the final hole. This is a fun finishing hole because it's 323 feet, super aceable. Throwing the Glow Mustang here. It's a new addition to my bag for this video. I put a little too much on it. It goes through that bush. I was really trying to ace this hole, honestly. I want an ace on film so bad. But even with it being low, blistered, and flipping, and hitting a bush, this is the look we had. So, easy layup. But yeah, definitely check out this course, play both layouts, maybe eat lunch in between the 2 rounds, unlike what I did. This was put in by Perks and Recreation, nice little boutique disc golf shop in downtown Little Rock. Definitely check them out while you're there. Buy a jersey, buy a disc or something. I was super impressed with the quality of their jerseys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there. Enjoy some of my other bad ace runs on hole 18. Peace.
Try the skippy route. Goat. Arch stamp, mountain sport. how close that was. Wonder how close that was.